Module 8, making the head look three-dimensional and features in an inverted triangle. I draw the same oval shape of the head here. I begin by drawing the basic shape of the head, and with a half-close eye view, we draw the positive areas, which are the eyes, nostrils and lips. Also sketch the hairline. Let's begin by understanding what the third dimension is. You may think of a box. If we draw the box from the front, keeping it at the eye level, what you will see is the length and breadth of the box and not the depth. Similar will be the case with most objects if viewed from the straight on eye level. Another important facet that gives every form its depth or third dimension is light. How light decides to fall on a subject will conclude to how deep something appears to our eyes. Decide where you would prefer the source of light to be, either from the right side or the left side of the drawing. So we will have to either shift our view or the angle of the object in order to see the depth or the third dimension. In other words, either the object has to be above your eye level, below the eye level, or from the side angle view for us to be able to see their depth. Wherever the light falls from those areas of the face will be well lit and the other half will be darker. For this portrait, I decide the source of light is falling from the left. So smudge the areas on the right side of the face, making it appear darker than the rest of the face. Look carefully where all will we find dark areas if the source of light is from the left. This is a rough sketch, a basic outline of light and shade. Try a lot of sketches like these. Experiment on 10 to 15 portraits with different sources of light before you progress. I hope it is clear that light and correct angle are both required in order to see the third dimension in any object. Light will brighten the areas or part of the face where it directly falls. Keeping the other side darker. Since you will begin shading your portrait by capturing light and dark, it is a good idea to check if the facial features are positioned correctly. Commonly used method to check the placement of facial features is to draw an inverted triangle. There are 3 ways of doing this. I will sketch an inverted triangle on a blank sheet. Consider the top horizontal line of the inverted triangle a mark for placement of eyes, and the tip of the triangle as the chin. Place the nose and mouth in the triangle accordingly. Draw a line running from the corner of each eye to the tip of the nose. This forms your first triangle. Draw a line running from the corner of each eye to the center of the chin. The third way is to extend a line from the corner of the eyes all the way down to the center of the lips. If the mouth extends beyond the side edges of the triangle or the chin falls below the corner of the triangle, then probably you have positioned them incorrectly and need to recheck. You can divide the face in major areas this way. This helps you in checking your drawing. If you look closely, you will see that the triangle can be divided in two equal parts. And when you slowly build or extend this triangle, you will start getting all the four basic divisions or lines for positioning the facial features as discussed in one of the earlier lessons. So you can add the facial features, the depths and shadows of the eyes. There is no need of details here. Just draw the eye socket, draw the nose and lips to construct the triangle to look like a face. It will help you understand the concept of the inverted triangle better. Practice many such inverted triangles. Try completing the sketch of the face and do not leave the drawing halfway. Try not letting it appear incomplete. I would prefer you to use black color in gouache for this exercise. Black is the best to understand tonal variation and the depths that various tones create in any object. Stick to gouache as a medium as it is smooth or stretches well after you pick paint in the brush. I will paint another face from an entirely different angle. Start by drawing the features in an inverted triangle and observe closely that the triangle will be formed no matter what angle you choose to view the face from. Use a hog hair brush preferably. You will feel a better control over your drawing as the quality of strokes is rough. It does not spread like watercolor in a soft brush. Practice drawing smaller triangles and placing facial features within them at the correct place. Construct the entire face around the basic triangle, bit by bit, noticing how there are triangles within triangles in the human face structure. Painting is like swimming, dancing or singing. You may read books to know more about these forms and methods, but the only way to actually learn and excel these are by practicing them for long hours. Practice many such drawings, being aware of the various forms and shapes within shapes. Keep the lines rough and sketchy. I will add two big triangles on each side of the face. If you decide to build a face by the use of triangles, after draw the ears, I will begin adding hair starting from the side and building it up slowly, keeping the basic oval shape of the head. Your practice of scribbles will be of great use when you start drawing hair. Pull the lines from your memory bank to draw the kind of hair you would like for this face. Draw several scratches like these from imagination. Create dimension and depth through shading. Do not be afraid to add a light watery wash of grey to the side of the face that does not get direct light. Since the portrait is from imagination, you may choose the source of light and add dark tone accordingly. After you are through adding dark colors for light and shade, you will notice how the face begins to appear fuller and rounder. It now looks three-dimensional. We added depth as the third dimension other than length and breadth. You must know where to add the darkest shadows under the eyes, under the nose, under the chin and neck. The neck will receive more light on one side, and for it to look muscular, it is important that you shade the light and dark on the neck area. Scribbling every day will open the risks and provide the much required freedom and suppleness to the muscles and joints that finally starts to show in your lines. I will show you another face from the side view. See how many triangles I am using to build the face. Give a slight plunge for the neck on the right side and observe how I added the triangle to construct the jawline. These are your basic guidelines. By remembering these, you will make no mistakes in the proportion of your drawing. Use a bigger brush to fill the head with hair. Try using hog hair brushes for the purpose. They give beautiful depth and variations of colors. Decide the light source and add the shadow. Be quick and do not feel nervous moving your brush, fearing that you may spoil the portrait. You cannot remove gouache, but you can use white gouache or poster color for corrections. As a final touch, add depth and dimension by drawing a bulk for the neck and few quick sketchy lines to draw shoulders. Practice a lot of triangles, much smaller in size, and add features within the area of the triangle. Start by smaller triangles and then increase the size once your hand feels confident about handling a bigger space. You may also add details like a definite jawline or the basic oval shape of the face for depth. But the important part to practice is the inverted triangle and placement of facial features. You may add characteristics features like a beard or anything that comes to your mind. A lot of practice required. It cannot be achieved by just reading books. Sketch and make lot of black and white drawings like these. To create some interest, I will apply some warm colors to add more dimension, depth and effect to my portrait drawings. You may pick a burnt sienna, red or green for the purpose. All these are colors that are found in skin tones and even hair, representing the presence of light. Let the green and burnt sienna peep out from behind. See how I completed the portrait by basic lines and colors. Practicing a small size for a portrait initially is helpful, and I suggest you to that in order to learn to handle a small area. Green and burnt sienna are beautiful colors to use for the purpose. Pick just a few colors and keep them aside. Choose a dark color, a color for the middle tones, and a yellow for glazing or highlights. You can experiment and add any color after you have gathered enough experience of knowing the tone of any color. I will draw a few quick sketches to elaborate the concept of the third dimension. Practice similar sketches of the face from imagination. Keep the basic proportions in mind and scribble faces in sketchy lines using black gouache. And hog here. I have a stroke line work as I scribbled a lot in paint and pencils during my college days. I scribbled till date after being an artist for over 35 years. Now see another example of the face. I will begin by placing the features in an inverted triangle. The portrait is a side profile. Shade the portraits with picking some water in your brush and spreading it over the lines to create dark areas. Play with lines and water. Do not hesitate and fear to spoil your work. Do lot of such drawings, sketching faces from all angles and understand the form and play of light and dark in creating dimensions. My main point here is that the inverted triangle is very important. You have to place the features within these areas. Do not make mechanical drawings, draw freehand drawings, and learn to enjoy your medium and lines. Explore what the brush can do for you, the various lines that it can create. Black poster color is the best medium to use it to respond very well. Once you can draw and understand the tonal variation in black, rest of the colors will be easier to handle. If you add color, and purple, and blue for the head. Pick the chromatic quality and tones in colors carefully. Every color fills the purpose for one of the three main tones: dark, light, and highlights. Red color, use green for the face. A good play of light and dark makes the face stand out on paper. It lifts the drawing from a two-dimensional piece out to the three-dimensional form. In most pupils, all the facial features should be contained within these inverted triangles. So you can use them to check that you have not drawn the mouth too wide or placed the chin too low.